Okay, we are not doing this one because of the obvious fundamental problem. I have not taught you how to do that one, okay? But the other two we're going to have to take a look at. So, an object is thrown upward from a height of 15 feet at initial velocity of 35 feet per second. How long will it take the object to hit the ground? Okay, all right, so basically what we want to do is use these three things right here. So, okay, so your units that you have that are important are the feet and the seconds. Okay, so we will know that the x is a seconds, we know y is a feet. So per feet per second, and I know that's 35 from up here. Now that's a parabola, okay? So I want to know when it hits the ground, so 0 feet. All right, so let's write our equation for gravity, okay? You got to know the gravity term, and that's negative 16x to the second plus 35x, and we start at 15. Okay, now it ends up being equal to y, but we know the y is 0 feet. Okay, so I've got three terms here, so I'm going to use my GCF, and then I'm going to use my t-chart. Okay, so in my GCF, I don't have I do have a negative in front, so we got to get negative. Okay, we don't have x on everything. Now let's look at 15. So 115, 2 decimal, 3 and 5, 4 is a decimal, then it's 5. Okay, so we can't divide those all by 15. You can't divide them all by 5. You also can't divide them by 3, but you need to actually divide a 1 out, so the negative, okay? All right, now I'm going to divide all these by negative 1. And that's positive 16x to the second minus 35x minus 15. Okay, now I'm going to get a huge number here. When I take 16 times 15, I get like 240. Okay, that number's too high to run a t-test. Okay, it's cost-benefit analysis. The costs outweigh the benefits. So I'm going to use that. So the opposite of my b is 35 plus or minus the square root. B to the second minus 3 in a row. Okay. And then 2 by 16. Okay. Okay, so I know my b is negative 35. And then it's going to be 4. A is 16 and c is negative 15. Okay. All right, so I know that I've got 35, and that's 32, and we'll have to go figure that out over here. So I take negative 35 times negative 35, and then I take 4 times 16 times negative 15, okay? So 1,225 minus, and then 4 times 16 times negative 15 is negative 960, okay? So plus plus. So 2185. Okay, now I find the square root of 2185, and that's 46.74, okay? So that leads to two answers, okay? Divide by 32, that's going to give me 2.55. Okay, negative 0.37, okay? So that guy right there is kind of the real answer. Okay, and then the next one. A picture is 25 by, first off, that when we're talking shapes, let's split this up, okay? Picture is 20 by 25 inches. A person will build a frame around the picture. After the frame is built, it takes up a space of 644. That needs to say square inches, not feet. They need to be the same dimension. How wide is the frame, okay? All right, so let's draw our picture. Got to get that drawn, okay? Because that helps you make sense of the problem. So you got 20 and 25, and then we don't, sorry. And we know these are x's because they're unknown. Okay, so we want to set up our length and width parentheses. So that's 2x plus 25. And this is going to be 2x plus 20. Okay, so we want to multiply this out. So I take 2x times 2x. I'm going to take 2x times 20. We're going to take 25 times 2x, and we're going to take 25 times 20. Okay, so that's 4x to the second, that's 40x, and that's 50x, and that's 500, okay? So when I'm looking at these, I can combine those. So it's going to be 4x to the second plus 90x plus 500. All right, now here's what you need to do. You need to carry this down here because you just took the length times the width. And you had these x's, but we know that that's equal to 644, okay? So there are two answers. And I've got x second, and I've got x, so we need to have our equals 0. So I subtract 644. So that gives us 4x to the second plus 90x, and that's negative 144. Okay, and then I do my GCF and my T, okay? So GCF, you don't have the X on everything, so check out 4, 1, 4, and 2 and 2, okay? All right, you cannot divide 90 by 4. You can divide all these by 2, so 2 pops out of here. That gives me 2x to the second plus 45x minus 72. And then I go A, B, C. So 2 times negative 72 is negative 144. So I'm looking for a difference of 45. Okay. A times C. Kind of going fast through this because I'm not really sure how well that's going to shake out for me. No. No, that's 70. Yeah, okay, 3 and 48. Good. I was kind of hoping, getting nervous here for a second. Okay. So A equals 2, so we need 2 parentheses and lead off with 2. Okay, so plus 45 would be plus 48 and difference minus 2. Okay, so when I'm looking this, I'd have 2, so 1 and 2. But you can't divide 3 by 2, so that'll stay the same. You can divide both of these by 2. Okay, so that's 1x plus 24. Okay, and then the 2 here is technically supposed to be brought down, but it's not really an important thing to have. Okay, so 2x minus 3 equals 0, and then 1x plus x plus 24 equals 0. Okay, so 2x equals 3. Divide by 2. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. Then minus 24, minus 24, and 1x equals negative 24. Okay, so there's your second one. Okay, so 1.5 is the legit answer, straight legit, and so forth.